Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Aaron, and we're gonna do something a little weird this week. It's gonna be all about me. Intro. Changing times dictate that we kind of update our viewers on major life changes. I've been holding out on you guys. As of very recently, I've had a career change, and I've gone from this vest and a badge and a pair of handcuffs, and I'm turning them in for an apron and a pair of shears. Your boy Aaron used to be a cop, and recently I turned all that in and I am going to barber school. Surprise! Immediately after graduating from college and getting my degree, which is completely unrelated to criminal justice or cosmetology/barbering, I went straight into law enforcement with a local agency here in Nebraska. I worked at one agency for a while and then ended up switching to be able to better provide for my family after getting married. One of the biggest questions that I get asked when I tell people about my change from law enforcement to barbering is, what did you learn in law enforcement? Or what are you going to take away from your time in law enforcement? And I think it all comes down to the fact that family comes first. Going into law enforcement, my now wife and I had an understanding and an agreement that we understood the risks associated with me being in law enforcement and that we were willing to take those risks. And I thought I was okay with that risk. Fast forward a few years, I had my daughter. Things started to kind of shift in my head and in my heart. And then fast forward about another year and a half, I had my son, and things really began to snowball. At a certain point, I realized that I could not justify putting myself and my family in harm's way for the purposes of a career, which I very much did enjoy and found rewarding, but it was not worth my family or risking my ability to be able to provide for them or be present for my children later on down the road. That eventually prompted me to make the change. Now, a lot of people ask me, how did you go from cop to barber? I knew that I needed to get out of law enforcement for myself and for my family, but I wanted to continue to help those who are still in law enforcement. A barber is essentially an unlicensed amateur psychiatrist. I'm hoping to be able to reach other law enforcement, whether current or former, as well as active military, veterans, and other first responders. I really think that tailoring my shop to first responders, military, and veterans will allow me to reach them in a way that maybe others can't. One other thing I took away from my time in law enforcement, and this is something that's very important for everyone to remember in every career field, we are all human. The men and women in blue and brown are just an amalgamation of all the people in our societies, and it's taken from all of the same areas of brokenness and discord that we see in our own lives. As much as I would like to say that the hiring practices of agencies across the country are beyond reproach, they're not. They're not perfect, and unfortunately, bad apples always seep into every career field, and that includes law enforcement. On the flip side of remembering that everyone is human, law enforcement deal with people day in and day out, and it's very important for law enforcement to remember that everyone that they're dealing with is a person as well. It's easy to just see people as a case number or a report and move on. Each and every call, each and every report number is tied to a soul. It's tied to a person. It's tied to many souls. If I had a few pieces of advice for people having been on the inside of law enforcement and now living a civilian life, they would be this. Number one, train, 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 train. The number of things I've seen at ranges, both at public ranges, private ranges, or at range days with other law enforcement officers, train, 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 train. Malfunction drills, moving drills, stationary drills, reloading drills. You can find all kinds of stuff online, and if you're willing to pay for it, there's tons of good training at places that do great work trying to train people, whether it's with firearms or things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you don't know how to defend yourself or your family, what good are you? My ability to protect myself and my family is paramount. And if I lapse in that regard, I feel as if I'm failing as a man and as a father in my ability to tend to my flock. So I've turned in all my gear, my time in law enforcement is done, and I'm working on transitioning my mind out of law enforcement, which is something that's difficult to do even after a short 4 years. So I know that was just a little bit of a teaser into my big life change recently, but I wanted to thank you for your support, and I welcome any questions or comments on this video. I'd be happy to answer them as best as I can. As you can imagine, there are tons of stories, and I'm excited to be able to finally tell people some of those stories as we're moving forward here. But I wanted to thank you for your support, and I'm excited to hopefully be able to provide some more detailed insights into some of the things that we do on the channel in terms of training and gun laws, especially in Iowa and Nebraska, that I have picked up in the last 4 years of law enforcement. That's going to do it for this episode, everybody. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to check us out at phantommamasden.com, X, Instagram, and Twitch, where we get rather rowdy on the weekends. And as always, don't take life too seriously, and make it a great day. That's going to do it for this episode, everybody. No. That's going to do it for this video, everybody. That's going to do it for this video, everybody. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to check us out at phantomlemons.com.